Yeah, like we're doing this podcast.
I know. Hopefully we'll get there,
We
friends.
will. It's right. It's
Like and share and rate, friends.
Hey everybody, this is Mary.
And this is Julie.
And you are listening to the High Priestess Hype Club. You know what? You know what I found was I watched this woman on TikTok, Princess Glitterhead. Have you ever seen her?
No, but I'm in love with this name already.
She's a makeup artist. But also like she had false teeth for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then she had them like permanently put in, but you would see her before, like beforehand, and then she would do like one of those toss-up things, and then her makeup's on. Gorgeous makeup. And she recommended it, so I was like, oh well, I'm gonna get that then.
And it looks flawless.
Yeah, thank you.
It looks freshly applied, friend.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's what I love, her makeup stuff. I'm getting into watching makeup videos now. I don't know.
They're fun.
They are.
While not a makeup girl, I enjoy a makeup video.
Yes. It's true. I'm like, wow, look at the transformation.
I know. And I don't know if you've ever watched any of like Johnny Ross's stuff. Like, I love him, and he has really good YouTube stuff. And basically, a lot of his stuff is like, here's like the drugstore dupe for this, and let's see if it actually works on mature skin, and like he doesn't filter over. He's like, I've got all these pores, like blah blah blah. And like, he's really funny. He's the same guy who did that. I don't know if I sent him to you, the ones who it's like, what it's like to shop at Sephora. And he's like, hey, welcome to Sephora. Did I send you these?
No, I need
Oh my God, I've got to send you them. And like, apparently his stuff like totally blew up, and he's like, he got ranked really high, and he's like, I don't understand this, but I love you all so much.
Awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
He's great. So I'll check out yours and I will send you those. But yeah, that's one that helped me a lot, because I'm like, look, I used to spend money on makeup and I don't use it. And then like I would do like Ipsy, and every once in a while I'll get a it's like a full size, like if Ipsy is all the little ones, you can get a
I don't know about this.
A box. I'll tell you, it's in my email somewhere anyway. But like I would get there, so I get a lot of full size. So I have a ton of palettes and stuff that I'm like, when am I gonna use this? The pandemic happened. I don't leave my home. But so now that we're on camera at work all the time, maybe I'll start using them.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, it's that whole camera. It's weird because I also get some weird social anxieties out now that I didn't have before. If I'm going to an event or something, it's weird. And here's the other thing, like, you know, like I said to you before, like I've put on weight since the pandemic, so that's also a little like unnerving, I think. And you know what, I'm getting in my head about, you know, what people are going to say when they look at me, or what they're going to, and they probably don't care, but I can tell you it's a little like unnerving sometimes to be out, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to this, you know, I got to be on camera. Which
I do it too. And I've definitely, I got a little bit of like postpartum anxiety and depression, but now I've like social anxiety since pandemic. Like I had to go out and get cleats for my kid today, and I was like, oh God, you know, like like it's almost like high school or like middle school again, when it's like, are people looking at me? Are they judging me? What is, and I'm like, dude, you haven't felt like this in a long time. You know, and like I always kind of worried about it, but like it feels like a lot now. So
it's interesting. And I'm like, I gotta go out. I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta do things. But even now, like I'm not getting the parties like I used to. People are doing, you know, more one-on-one stuff, which is fine. But like I got asked for a party, and I was like, oh yeah, I can still go do that. That's fine. That's fine. You know, like it's just,
what are the parties? I don't know what this is.
Oh, so if someone wants a psychic party, they want to have a bunch of friends over their house and have nibblies and drinks and stuff. They can come over, and I'll do readings, and they go back in the kitchen, they talk all about what I said, and then they send someone else up, and it's a lot of fun. It's fun. You know, they put me in a room somewhere,
and you get your setup going, and you're the Magic Mary in the room, and they come.
That's right. You got a candle burning, all that good stuff. So but it's interesting. It's like, you know, those people I don't know if they're not gathering, or they're just like, but that's okay, because I think the summer may bring more, you know. But it's been an interesting time. Like, you know, people are talking about a recession. I'm like, well, you know, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, it's hard when you run your own business and people start talking recession. It's like, well, this is what I got. So
No, it's true. I mean, we're in a similar situation. Yes, I work for like a company, but Tracy does not. They have their own business. And so and you
yeah.
can feel it at like different times of year. These are the slow times, then it ramps up and then it's slow. And it's like, well, we finally figured out how to plan for that a little bit.
Well, that's true. Yeah, there's sort of a wave of like times when people are coming. Like the last 2 weeks of December, I definitely fall off because everybody's.
Yeah, everybody's doing holiday stuff.
But usually right after the first, like after January 1st, like the
Mhm.
first week of January, I get people start. I want to know
What's
what.
the year gonna bring for me,
Right.
Mary? Yeah.
Exactly. Birthdays are a lot of like rebooks. You
Hmm.
know, and then
That's when I would always rebook.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, my birthday's coming up. What's coming up for the year, right? It's like
yeah.
super fun.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so that's a time people rebook, but it's summertime gets a little slower because of vacations. Like,
Yeah.
it's you just got to ride the wave. If you're gonna run your own business, that's the thing. You got to just try to ride the
Yeah.
waves of the ups and downs. It's scary
Yeah.
though. It is. But it's all right.
Yeah.
I rather do this, work 80 hours a week. I think Lori Grenier says it. I'd rather work 80 hours a week instead of working 40, so I
Mhm.
don't have to work 40 like that's what she did when the shark, you know who I'm talking about, Lori Grenier. She's a
Oh yeah, from Shark Tank.
Shark Tank, yeah. So she was like, I rather work 80 hours a week so I don't have to work 40. And that's sort of how I come, I'm like, I
Yeah.
rather work my butt off than go sit in a corporate. But I get it's scary. That was scary when I did. It took me a long time to do it. Finally, after I
Mhm.
got laid off the third time in 3 years, I was like, it's time to do this.
Okay, guys, I
Okay.
hear you.
Right. Exactly. I was like, so I don't, all right. I guess I'm not supposed to do this anymore. Forward, I think a lot of companies are trying to do better, but
It's
it's
tough.
soul sucking. It is soul sucking.
Hmm.
But things have to run. So
Well, there's that too, right? Just
yeah. I
if
look at
they
it
would
as,
run kinder to their
yeah.
employees.
Well, that's it. That's it. It's kind of that's the thing I didn't like. It just didn't feel like an employee was really taken into account. I
Mhm.
get that we have to run businesses and stuff, but I don't know. I think one of the things we found with the pandemic was people work more when they're at home.
Yeah.
So why not just let people work from home? They're happier, they get
Yeah.
more done.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like it makes sense,
It
but
does.
I can see how it doesn't sit well with everybody for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I think that some people who are no, we're not going to go down this route. Never mind. But I think too that like I think it works better for some people than others.
Mm, mm,
I love it.
yeah.
And we went, it was tough at first because I was used to like this is a time that I'm away and I can see other grown-ups, right?
Right,
But
right.
so when I first switched here, I was like, I'm here all day. And I think I told you this that like I made it till like 10 a.m. and I was like, I'm gonna go get a coffee. Tracy's like, okay, bye. Like, and they're
I
like,
gotta
you
see
made
other
it till
people.
10. I'm
Yeah.
really proud of you.
I
But
think you're right. One of my friends said she likes going in like she needs the office environment. Actually, so now you say that. But
but you
mm,
can get the interaction with other people different ways.
yeah, it's true.
And that helps. I think that we forget sometimes when we've been in that way for a long time, like there are other ways.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to see your friends
Yeah,
at different times.
it's true.
I don't know, because it's what we'd always done, right? Like office means this means this. I don't know. Have I had two emotional support coffees today? I might be a little over caffeinated.
You're fine though.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Just drink a little water.
I have my emotional support iced tea, so I get it.
I love it.
That
I
was one of
love
my
it.
things when I worked. I one of the jobs I worked at had a Dunkin' Donuts. I think it was like I just had to go through a set of lights, and it was at the next thing.
Nice.
Yeah, so I would sometimes if I really needed to get out of the office, I'd be like, I gotta go get my iced tea. I gotta go. Like I gotta
Right.
because when you're that stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
yeah, yeah, I remember those times. Sometimes you have to go get those emotional support coffees.
Like, I gotta go, guys. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
I'll be right back. You know, I can't believe yeah, it's something. Um, but I think the way the world is changing, just how we view work, you
Yeah.
know, I think there's different, I mean, I remember it was like a radical thing to say, well, as long as you get your 8 hours in, like, I don't care if you start at 7, if you start at 9, if you start at
Right.
11.
People were like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I loved it because I used to go in about 11 and then
Well, right. You're
I
like,
was
this
there.
works for
This
my schedule.
Yeah, this
Right.
works for me. You know, I'm not a morning person. I'm just not. I'm one of those people that can stay up like late, like, you know, I'll stay up till 4 in the morning and then because my mind's just working and working on things and I'm writing and whatever. So I can be one of those people. That's why if I did that and I had that corporate job, it'd be 9:15. I'd be rolling in like, good morning, everyone. You know, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. You wear that shirt yesterday? No, no.
No.
So yeah, that didn't work for me, but 11 absolutely worked. So
Yeah.
I think the way we're working, I hope, and I think I hear about people going out into their own businesses, which I think is also really good.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how things get invented and things get bigger and you know, and we need smaller businesses, I think. That's really what makes the country. The big businesses, they're not always good
No,
to the
I agree. Yeah. No, I agree.
that's yeah, but listen, it's a dream. I think we all need that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm.
So I did not do much research. I was in line for my second emotional support coffee. And I was like, remember when we talked about, like, I think twin flames comes from a cult? It does.
Ooh,
And I should have had my notes up, but it's
okay.
basically like a couple who were like, this is the only way that blah, blah, blah. But I did find, since I haven't done a lot of research yet, there is a podcast about it that I found. So I'm going to listen to that and then we will dish about that later. And I will also remember what it is and say what it is on here. That was guess what I did? Nothing. But I looked at some for 20 seconds today because I kind of remembered.
Yeah.
But yes, it originates from like almost like a relationship retreat kind of cult is what I saw. We'll find more because I like a good cult.
Yeah.
I like a good cult, like I like true crime friends. Let's say that way. I'm not like, yeah, cults are the shit. I mean, like they are interesting. And I don't like that they hurt people.
No, that's very bad. But do you ever see the okay, so the Office episode with Creed where he's like,
yes,
you know, you make more money as a leader, but you have more fun as a
as a
follower.
follower. We say that a lot around here. And just like there's a lot of no context Office quotes that get flown around our house. So
yeah, I think that's fantastic. But I thought when you just said that, I thought of it. Listen,
I love Creed. Oh my God.
Creed's amazing. But I just the machine, I guess they're still together and they're going to daily therapy or something like that, just to dish on them again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't, you know, they're trying, but I don't, you know, it depends on what rag you read. But that whole about we are twin flames. I'm like, oh no, no,
please don't.
no, because it makes me wonder, and I do not know if this is true or not, but that kind of stuff, like I hear from readings, people will say to me, well, they're my soulmate. So I have to stay with them. No, you don't.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Right. And
You
like
know?
toxic things like that, making like,
Yeah,
encouraging people to stay in situations that are dangerous for themselves or others. Like, that's rough, dude.
It is. It is. So to feel like this is my soulmate or this is my twin flame, I'm like, all right, let's talk about you know. Well, I just feel bad, you know, because I think people are tying themselves to people that they don't have to because you know, we talked about this in another episode, that people, you know, soulmates can be several different people that help us learn our lessons. So it can be a relationship, but we have other soulmates. So
no, it's true. Also, anybody who likes K-dramas, the one that I ever finished though, but I think it's Boys Over Flowers. I remember I was watching it and it's dramatic, it's out of control, and it's basically like, I like teen supernatural dramas. It's a teen K-pop drama, not K-pop, K-drama, right? Yeah. But like, I remember at one point in it, she's all like, I don't understand. Why do I let, these two people in my life? And basically, I can't remember if it's a psychic or like a grandma, who knows, but it was a long time ago. But she's basically like, well, one of them is your soulmate and one of them is your husband. And she's all like, but isn't that the same person? And I think about that every time you say this, because that's not what we're told over here usually. That's not the Disney story version.
I know. Truth, that's the thing. Listen, if you want the Disney version, you have to understand this so you can find that fantasy that you've been looking for. You know, it's if you get caught up in the BS. I see this, when I talk to people, and this, listen, my heart, when I read somebody, I just want to hug them.
Oh yeah.
Just so there's such wonderful people, and we get caught up in whatever we're in. But a lot of times I get from people, like, I look at their cards and I'll go, this person isn't your person, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, yeah, am I gonna be alone? And I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not. No, no, no. But I think everybody's afraid of that they won't find their person. They'll be
Yeah.
stuff. And I get that. I'm twice divorced, but on the other hand, I rather make the room for someone great than just have someone there just to have someone there. You know, something is not always better than nothing. Like that's what I say.
Right.
It's not always better than.
Right.
So when you're in something that's just hurting you, it's not. And I've been there. I'm not. You know, I talk about stuff that I've been with too. That I've.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's I feel bad because I want to say to people, like, stop for a second and really look at whether, like, if you were talking to your friend
Yeah.
and your friend was in your situation, would you tell them to stay? Would you tell them it's okay? Like, would you
Right.
be like, it's time for you to get out? Um,
Right.
so that's the soul. That's the thing that drives me crazy about the soulmates. I think it gives us like the out not to really leave them and be afraid because, well, he's got to be or she's got to be my soulmate.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah. It can give you a reason to just not do the work for change, right? As someone who struggles with change, like, but
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of light change, I have journaled for 2 days. Watch out.
Woo!
I've
Nice.
journaled for 2 days, everyone. And when I was in therapy today, I was like, now that I've been journaling for 2 days, like,
Like, I'm superior.
kind of
Yes.
like,
I got it all
now
figured out now. Everything's fine now.
I'm all good. So we can terminate our sessions. No, like absolutely not.
Like, no.
But 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 I've had some good stuff in there too. And I feel like I had a reason why I was gonna say this. And this is one of those days, guys. This is one of those days when Julie forgets what she's saying mid-sentence.
That's all right, because I do that now too. I think that's stress. Like stress can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That you start like you're trying to think of a bunch of different things and your brain's like, "Nyeh, nyeh," you know.
Like there's a lot happening.
Yeah.
Got one of my notebooks that Mary gave me, which
Oh,
is what I'm using to journal in.
it's good. Yeah, I think I wrote I've journaled as of today's recording. It's 4 days. And
Yep.
that the other thing I do is I don't pick up my phone first thing in the morning.
When you told me that, dude, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this too.
Yeah.
And it helped.
Yeah.
It helped a lot. This morning I had a small child being like, Mom, and this, Mom, and this. And I'm like, I love that you're feeling better. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to write my stuff. I need like 4 minutes.
Just 4 minutes.
He's like, okay, Mom. But like it
Here,
does make a difference. And I felt it this morning. Like I was gonna start looking at my phone. I was like, don't do it yet. Just put it down. It'll be there.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yep.
there.
Yep. I don't know why. Like I said, it was one of those things I saw on like Facebook or Instagram, somewhere on social media that was like, don't pick up your phone first thing in the morning. Like give it an hour. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay, but that's helped so far because I find it just clears my mind.
Yeah.
Because I usually hit the ground running. Like once I get up, right? So
Yeah.
all right,
Same.
I can write. It's like I get a couple of things done and get my mind clear, and then what I'm doing next seems much more organized. I don't know. Maybe it's psychological care though. Whatever's working, it's fine.
Yeah, dude. And you're being like, you've written a lot of stuff and been really productive the past few days. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The other thing I did, which last night you helped me hold on, was I did not order ice cream.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
Good for you.
That was a thing. Let me tell you. So my mom calls me. Was I driving? I had to be driving. I was driving home from, yeah, I went to a friend of mine's art opening. He's got a
cool.
solo show. It's wonderful. Yeah, my friend Johan Han, if you ever want to look him up, he's
Is that the one you posted like a picture of that piece? Oh my God, it was beautiful.
beautiful. He's a tremendous artist, tremendous. So I'm driving home and I said, do you need anything, Mom? Do you want me to stop? And she's like, well, I want you to get me an ice cream. So, her and I have been trying to be healthier. So I said, well, Mom, like maybe skip it. She doesn't eat every night. I don't, but I mean, I think we have it more than we should. I'll say it like that. So I said, Mom, why don't we, skip it tonight? No, I want a frap. Okay. So I order her the frap and I pick it up and everything. And then like she had it and she was fine. But I remember like I was lying on the couch, like,
right?
That's why I text you. I'm like, tell me it was the right thing to do not to order ice cream because they're open till 1:30 in the morning and it's only 10 o'clock. Tell me I'm doing the right thing. And I woke up this morning feeling like, okay, I got
Right.
past it. No. Yeah. I mean, listen, I think ice cream's addictive. I don't care what anybody says, you
Well,
know.
I mean, it's really good. And
But
also, like, you know, I emotionally eat. That is my main issue with it. So, like, it feels very comforting and it's hard to not get it. So,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
They make this amazing ice cream chocolate chip cookie sandwich. It's just chocolate
Hmm.
chips with the vanilla ice cream in the middle. That wasn't a good look. What am I doing? But ice cream sandwich with the ice cream in the middle and it's big. I mean it's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
so yeah, and I usually stuff that in my face and I was like, I can't. So
But you can on occasion,
right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even just taking the frequency down once.
Yep. I
Like,
think I think that's a step forward.
hmm.
I mean, it's funny because I remember when I was in college, I was working for a weight loss center.
Hmm.
And actually I was attempting my first master's, which I dropped out of. It was an MBA, like which
Oh, I
oh
tried that too.
yeah. No, I did I tell you how I walked? Okay, wait, side note. We're gonna go on a side note.
Yeah, yeah.
How I knew I should not be getting my MBA is I went into the accounting class. I have a liberal arts degree.
Hmm.
I walked out of the accounting class after like about an hour in because it was like
Yeah.
one of those once a week classes. Took all my books, walked out. I was like, no, no,
No.
no. So I'm in a project with a couple of other guys in one of my other classes. And I said something about, working for a weight loss center. And he's like, I don't understand that. Why can't people just like have self-control? And I go, well, some people can.
Right.
And he was like, he said a bunch of things about people that
Bunch of
were
shitty things.
yeah, a bunch of shitty things. I'll say it that way. And I went back and forth with him for a minute, and I was like, "Wow, this guy's an ass."
Hmm.
He just was and you know what? That's the reaction of a lot of people. I hate to
Oh,
say it.
yeah.
You just control yourself. It's like, well, I got a lot of stress on me. That's the thing I reach for. My family is Italian and Irish, but I mean, really, we always ate pasta.
Right.
We always reach for like pastas and starchy foods and potatoes and stuff like that. And that's, an ice cream.
Yep. Some
But
people have different things going on for different
yeah,
reasons.
yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
I think it was an interesting conversation to see how people reacted.
Hmm.
The other thing I noticed was my doctors because when I had lost a lot of weight, the doctors treated me differently.
Oh, yeah. Like 1,000%.
Yeah. Things weren't attributed to my weight.
Mm-mm.
Whereas, when you're over
Everything is when you're
is
overweight.
right. And they don't
Yeah.
yeah, you have to really push. Um,
Hmm.
so that's a bummer, you know.
It is. I've had friends who've had lots of issues overlooked that
Mm.
they've had to fight for years just because they were overweight, and that wasn't what actually the issue was.
Right.
And that's kind of scary.
Isn't
So,
it? It's
yeah.
really yeah. But I think with anything, like we have to advocate for ourselves. Like we know ourselves
Yeah.
and I get that certain experts, like if you want to say doctors, whatever, um, I get that they have the education and stuff like that, but we know our bodies.
Well, right. Yeah. And we
So
have to advocate for ourselves. No, I agree.
absolutely. Mm.
I remembered.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
but part of what I'm going to add to like my journaling experience, we were
Yes.
talking in therapy because now I've been journaling for 2 days. But we were talking about it and we were talking about how like, and you mentioned like you see things for your friend, you can talk to your friend a certain way, but we don't always do that for ourselves.
No.
And so they were kind of like, how good are you at noticing it when you're doing it to yourself? And I'm like, not as good as when I'm seeing it in other people and everything. But I noticed that when I try to talk to myself about it, there's usually like a, hey, buddy, it's okay. Like, something like that. So
Mm.
I think I haven't been using my bullet journal the same way. And I think I'm going to do in the mornings, I'm going to do a, hey, buddy message, like, hey,
Woo!
buddy, or, whatever you'd want to
I
start
like
it with,
that.
but like, hey, buddy, you're
Yeah.
doing great, or something encouraging. My son's kindergarten teacher, when he was in kindergarten, it was his first year and he was doing it virtually. So she would hype them up all day.
Oh, I
She
love
and I still hear Miss Randolph being like, "Excellent job, guys. Excellent job." And sometimes I like wash a dish and I'm like, "Excellent job,
it.
guys. Excellent job." Or whatever. So I think it's kind of we need to like hype ourselves up as
Mhm,
well as we hype each other up. So I'm gonna try a
absolutely.
"Hey buddy" message in the journal,
I
or like
love
"Hey bitch." Maybe "Hey bitch" is more
"Hey,
fun, but
bitch. Hey, you bad bitch. Let's"
yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Why not?
yep.
Why not? Listen, the brain absorb I've learned through my hypnotherapy practice, the brain, responds much more to positive statements than negative. Like, so saying,
Yeah.
"I'm not gonna eat that ice cream," it's like, I
Right.
choose
The negative doesn't
it doesn't
it
stick.
makes you think, right, like don't think of a yellow bus.
Right.
So all I can think of is like a yellow
Yellow
bus.
bus.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I choose to, have something healthier for dessert, like, it's different
Yeah.
different energy, so I try to do that a lot where I'm like, "Mary, that was a dumb move," and then I'll go, "Well, wait, that was" I did that based on what I knew at the time, like, it's a different
Yeah. It's a different vibe. It's like a
vibe.
different thing. And it's kind of like that thing where they you see where they like people will speak in a certain way to water. Have you seen these studies
Oh,
where like if they
yes.
yell at it
Yep.
and then freeze it, the crystalline structure is completely different than if they say kind things to it, the crystalline structure is different. And so, I mean, people might think that's woo, but to me, that's science. Like that's you can
Oh,
see how it is different. And I think that like we should do that more to ourselves.
well, I remember that study about the water, I can't
Yeah.
think of the author, but his thing was, since we're 70% water, this is
Yes.
why, like, if we talk to ourselves nicer, we respond differently. So that was a huge piece of it too, like, and that was the theory that they worked off of. But I love, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I love that. I remember seeing the pictures of that. We'd see all
Oh
the water,
yeah.
like, all messed up and twisted if it was negative, but then it was positive, these, like, beautiful, like,
Like
just,
symmetrical, like
oh,
really pretty. Yeah, it was very
beautiful.
interesting. I
Yeah.
also saw, yes, in more of a woo way, I saw someone who talks to their bottle of water
Mm,
before they drink it. That's
yeah,
pretty witchy woo. And I haven't tried that yet,
why
but
not?
maybe.
It's putting the intention in the water.
Hmm.
If I can put it on a piece of paper, I can put it in an iced tea.
Well, there you go. And I'm used to just burning things. Maybe that'll bring up a, maybe I can incorporate a different elemental style of work.
Right. Well, I mean, you're an Aries, so of course you're gonna go to fire. That's just how it
Oh my
works.
God. Oh my God, you guys. Mary and I were talking charts the other day, and she told me about charts that when you move, like it might change your chart. What is that? A relocation chart?
Relocated chart, yeah.
So
Yeah.
for everybody I knew growing up in Alabama, I'm sorry I was a triple Aries at the time. Explains a lot.
Well,
I
it's
love
all
you
right.
all.
Love you, yeah. Triple Aries, Joe. Triple Aries.
Ooh,
Hey, strong personality. It's
ooh,
not
ooh. Sorry to my parents. I'm sorry to
Yeah, I think about, like, me and my brother. My brother's him and I are close, but we're so different. And I'm always like, "Mom, I'm sorry," because I was the challenging kid. I know I'm still the challenging kid.
My
Sorry.
mom had all fire sign children,
Ooh. And she's a Gemini too.
all of
She's
us.
right
And
in my
she's a Gemini. And so I'm March 28th. My brother, my next brother, my
yeah.
younger brother is March 29th.
Okay.
So he was 2 years in a day.
Mhm.
Sidebar to say, my Italian grandmother was just like, "Don't you have that baby on my granddaughter's birthday?"
Oh,
And I was like, as someone who has had a child, I think about that and it's like, Mom, I can't control that.
he's gonna do whatever he wants to do.
Right. So we're 2 years in a day. And then my youngest brother is a Leo. And my dad was a Pisces and my mom is a Gemini. And that was a lot of chaotic kid energy in the
Yeah.
house.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, 3 fire signs running through.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay. Anthony is a Scorpio. I'm a Sag. So, there was water and fire always happening there.
Yeah.
And my dad was an Aquarius. My mom's a Gemini. So the two heirs had to deal with the water and the fire.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. So they went with logic. Anthony went with feeling. I just went.
Yeah, right. I was just going.
I was just going. That's what we do. That's it. No,
Right.
my poor parents. Yeah, no, I still apologize to my mom. I'm like, "I'm sorry." She's like, "I sacrificed a lot for you, but that's all right. You're turning out just fine." I'm still, I guess, in progress. You're turning out all
I'm
right.
50, but
Yeah. Okay.
thanks, Mom. We're
Thanks,
getting
Anthony.
there.
You're doing good. It's fine. You're doing good. Just keep going. It's good.
Right.
Okay,
Wait,
good.
did I just put together that we're all one of each in our house? I think we are.
Oh, and you're
Right?
in your house? So you have your air Aquarius, you have your Cancer,
It's
water,
water. Yep.
fire is an Aries, and
And
Tracy,
Tracy's a Taurus.
Taurus, Earth.
Are we, if I could get everybody on board, I could make some witchy shit happen, y'all.
Right?
Like,
Everybody's gonna contribute
is
their
this the craft? Do we have to have?
Oh my God, the Crafts. I didn't watch the new one. Side note, I didn't watch the new. I couldn't.
Good.
Is it good?
It's good. It's good if you like supernatural teen dramas like I do.
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought it was good.
that
There was
first.
there's a good Nancy cameo. I
Oh,
liked that.
all right. All right. I think I will. I get suspicious. I'm like,
I enjoyed it. I was prepared to hate it, just like I was prepared to hate Wednesday. I was prepared to hate it, but I was like, it's my birthday and I'm watching this, and everybody can go,
yeah.
like this is what I'm doing, and I did, and I was like, that's all right.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
All right. I'll have to sit down and do a little marathon.
It'll be fun. Yeah. Oh, I should watch them both again too.
Ooh, we could do that. We could compare.
The first one's going to be better.
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
Plus nostalgia.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That was the thing about it. So the Craft came out first, and I think Practical Magic.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, but I remember watching the Craft, and I was like, oh my God, let's see. Hold on. Trying to do my what color's my hair gonna be?
I know, right? Oh my God, I know.
Yeah. So look, I changed my eye color. Oh, it's subtle. Yeah.
Oh, it's subtle. That's hilarious. I forgot about that. Subtle.
Yeah, it's subtle. Oh. All right. Yeah, no, that was quite a movie.
I also love that Rachel True now has her own like tarot deck out.
Yes.
Have you seen it? It's awesome.
Is it? Do you have it?
Yeah.
We're going to Megadesk.
We're going to Megadesk. My drawer of all my cards. I don't know Rachel True. I wish I did. It's awesome. And instead of for her inversions, but it's low vibe or high vibe. And it's got some, like traditional like Rider Waite symbolism in it. And so it's not that hard to read if that's what you're used to trying to read. But it's cool. It's got a nice big guidebook. Is this an ad? Should it be Rachel True?
Yeah.
Come be my friend. That's why you don't have to even give me money. Just come hang out.
Come on Zoom with us.
I know, right? Come Zoom with us.
Come Zoom with us.
But
so
it's good.
It's called True Heart.
Yeah. True Heart Intuitive Tarot. It's pretty cool. I'm into it. It makes me think of The Craft as well.
Yeah, that movie. I was like, well, I think when did that come out? In the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in my 20s.
Yeah, I was still a teenager.
I was still starting to witch it up.
96. So I was a junior in high school.
All right. So 96, I was 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 22. So yeah, that I was starting to witchy it up, and then that movie came out, and I was like, let me go watch it.
Yeah, I was like 17, and I'd already like gotten my first book and been afraid of it from like Barnes and Noble, like, Pinnacle.
My hands are on fire.
Right across the room. Okay, wait, I'm okay.
It's all right. Nothing went
okay.
It's all good.
Yeah. And then it kicked in pretty hardcore when I went to college. So
same. Yeah. It's sometimes you have to change scenery in order to
do.
Things,
May 1996. Yeah. So it was the end of my junior year.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go to college and you meet Steven,
right.
And the witchy comes out extra hard. Oh, I have somebody I can talk to.
Hooray! Someone like me.
Yay! I know.
It's a good thing.
We talk about Steven a lot. We can get Steven.
We should have Steven on the show. Yeah.
I know.
We have to have Steven on the show. We'll talk to him. I think that's things we got to recognize, that sometimes we meet people, and they introduce us to other people. And sometimes that original friendship doesn't stay. Like you were supposed to meet somebody.
Yeah.
I noticed that. It's helped me like let go of people that I need to let go of. I'm like, all right, so their purpose was maybe to introduce me to that friend.
Oh,
yeah. Or
look, I like this
because I'm always in my head. I'm thinking a lot, right? Aquarius moon. I'm always thinking about emotional things.
Yeah.
And trying to learn the lessons from them. So I noticed that if I can figure out a purpose why it helped me in my life, it's a little bit easier. And because people don't, unfortunately.
Yeah. I struggle with that a lot though. So I think that helps since I've been journaling 2 days. that has come out in my journaling a little bit too, where it's kind of like wanting to be like part of a group, but not being a person who's kind of a part of the group. So you have people who are like outsiders and embrace their outsiderness.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you have people who kind of are, but it's harder on them.
Yeah.
And I've always been it's harder on them kind of person.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of, instead of being like, why didn't we stay connected? Why, did I do something wrong? Like, what is wrong with me that we didn't stay connected? It's more like, well, no, you were for when you were supposed to be there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard because I think we meet people and we make these bonds and these deep bonds and we're like, all right, they're going to be forever people.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's not that we're not sad that that happens, but I'm not sad, I should say I'm not sad, but I am sad when things like that happen. But I'm also like, well, what was the purpose of that? Like, why
Yeah.
did that happen that way? Let me think about it for a minute. And sometimes I can come up with, all right, I think that's why they showed up,
Yeah.
because, I've had 2 husbands, so I'm like, nobody stays forever. I should,
Yeah.
but I eventually, even until death do us part, or partnerships, jobs, companies close, things happen.
Right.
So, yeah, I think sometimes it's like, all right, well, I met these people for whatever reason. That seems to work for me. I don't, and this is lately, like I've had to figure out why someone showed up and maybe why did someone come back into my life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or why did someone leave? Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
why they left. Cause I was maybe acting like this or reacting like this or
Yeah.
self or, or maybe I became more myself and then they stepped away. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things I read. It's like we all get together for different reasons. We all meet each other for different reasons.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. I maybe that's just where I am right now. And next week I'll be like, this is where I am with this. But
That's the nature of doing work, right? Like, we're
right.
trying to understand ourselves and work on ourselves. And I think it's important though. And I think that's good because, like, I like your take on this. I think it can be helpful to people depending where they are. Also laughing at myself because you're saying, like, I'm an Aquarius moon. And whereas I'm like, I'm an Aries moon. So I'm like, what the fuck? You're not my friend anymore. Or I've just gone off and like doing other stuff. And then I'm like, wait, I haven't talked to that person in forever.
Yeah.
Fuck, maybe this is my fault. Like,
Well, I mean, so listen, and sometimes the lesson is like I didn't do a good enough job keeping in touch. Like I'm like that.
well, sure, yeah.
But it's also like, well, maybe there's a reason why I wasn't supposed to keep in touch with them. Maybe
Yeah.
something's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always think the spirits bring people in and out. Like sometimes you go all of a sudden, like I've had these moments where all of a sudden I'm like, that's it. And I'm like, why did that happen that way? But sometimes it's like you needed to get away from that person.
Yeah.
Problems, there was
Yeah.
on like it would not have been good for you. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. So we make our own decisions. I get it, but still, I think the healthier we get, I think the easier it is to make some of these decisions too.
Yeah.
We're not hanging on to people for soulmate reasons, sentimental reasons, whatever.
Yeah.
We're with
Fear of change reasons.
right. Totally. Yeah. 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 But I think it's normal. We beat ourselves up for it. It's normal. Like,
Yeah.
I think sometimes we stay in places like I've stayed in jobs. Oh, of course I've stayed.
Oh, yeah.
But I've stayed in jobs because I was afraid before my business really took off. I was like, I can't go out on my own. I can't do this. I can't. And then finally I just kept getting kicked out of corporate. I was like, all right, I'll listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I said to the other what? Go ahead.
No, please go. Please go.
I said to someone the other day, it's like, sometimes be careful what you wish for.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you don't get something doesn't mean it's bad.
Right.
It's I don't know. That's one of the things I noticed. It's like oh, I didn't get this, but actually 6 months later you realize it turned out for the best.
Right.
You pissed in that moment, I'll tell you.
Oof. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Been there.
Why did this happen this way? Well,
yeah.
Oh, that's why I did.
Yeah. Like, I think I want a certain thing to happen at my job and it went very differently. But I started putting this caveat, like in all my spell work a few years ago, that everything's like, this is what I think I want, but whatever is the best. Like, I can't think of the words I use right now, but it's like whatever's in the best interest of like myself and whoever's involved in it, right? Like myself and my family and, whatever, like however this should happen in the best way, instead of just like, I want a raise or it was very job centered. I want this job. I'm trying to build myself back up into the workforce. And one of the ones I did, it was like, girl, what you would have wanted, what you were trying to make happen versus if you hadn't put that in at the end, like it would have been very different.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
so I'm kind of like, okay, guys, I'm glad I figured that out. Thank you.
Thank you.
But yeah, it doesn't show up. And I've done other work that I tried to make it go the way I wanted to, and I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, we don't have the whole picture.
Ah, youth.
It's true. It's true.
Ah, youth.
God. Oh my God. If I had actually made some of the boys that I liked, like get into relationship. Oh,
Right. Right.
oh. I'm like, thanks. Thanks for helping me dodge the bullet. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
for real.
Yeah. No, I mean, 20s were an interesting time.
Right? Seriously. Early 20s. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah. They were an interesting time.
We've all done some work that we wish we hadn't.
It's
Or
true.
we realized and we were like, undo, 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 undo,
Yeah.
undo.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, undo.
Yeah. Some of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That, especially like when I've had people talk to me about love spells. And I'm
That's
like,
exactly what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and I've done that too. I've done that too. But it's like, you're gonna grow. It might not be the same like, stop
Well,
it.
right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's true.
that's another thing when I talk to people. All right, actually, let me make the point this way. You saw Practical Magic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So towards the beginning of the movie, the woman comes to the door and she's like scratching at the door about the guy. They say
Mm-hmm.
to her, maybe there's someone better suited. She said, I want him so much. I want him
Yeah.
so bad he can't stand it. And she's like, well, maybe there's someone better suited for you. And she's like, no, that's why I came here. Just So
Mm-hmm.
she says, take the money jet. And then they do the thing with the bird. And she's
Yeah.
like, careful what you wish for. And that's, yeah. Yeah.
Now I can't remember if we ever see what happens to that lady later. Like, do we see? Now I want to look in the background for her and watch that again. I'm just making a list of witchy movies to watch. Like, do we see that lady later? And is she miserable at the market while
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock's
Right.
walking down the street? Like, who
Right.
knows?
Right. Playing Faith Hill in the background.
Did they care enough to do that? Or is it
Yeah.
just
I
that kind of storytelling? I don't know
wonder.
that we see her again, but now I wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was, I mean,
Sorry. That's
no, I was
where
just
my brain
thinking of
goes.
Angelo, and I was like, yeah, no, I would have been
Mhm.
Nicole Kidman. Well, yeah, no, I would have been Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I would have Sandra Bullock. I'm like, no,
No, Mary.
no. Let's be honest, no. Maybe now, but yeah,
Not
no.
at that age.
No, I would have been all about Jimmy Angelo. I would have.
Mhm.
He's such a bad boy. And there's so many things wrong with him. But it was like that obsessive.
It
They
happens.
were there together all the time. She had to drug him to get to Sandra Bullock, and she was like, "You have to drug your boyfriend. It's intense, it's fine." No, it's
It's
not.
fine.
No, it's not. Not fine. Look what happens.
Right?
His boots came up from the ground. There was a lot happening here. What are you
There's creepy
doing?
frogs. There's all kinds
Creepy
of
frogs.
stuff.
Yes, yes. Yeah. If you haven't watched it yet, guys, watch it because it
One,
gives
it's been
you hope
around
for
a long time and you should.
hello. Hello. Yeah. But Sandra Bullock was really good in it. And that love story was sweet in that movie.
It was.
It was sweet. I
And I
won't
like
go into it,
her.
but it was very sweet. Yeah. But I love when people think that's what all magic's about. I'm like, no, sometimes you gotta work that magic. Work and work and work, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. It's not just one night. You light a candle. You light a candle and you put the attention out to the universe and you're all set. Are you kidding?
How big are we talking here?
Yeah,
What are you trying to make happen?
it's true. Well, it's funny. People say to me sometimes, like, well, what if I want to do a spell on this? And then I'll explain and I'll say, you have to work the candle. It could be 7 days, it could be 9 days. And they're like, what do you mean I have to do it for 7 days? Don't I just light it once and it's fine? I'm like, you're trying to move. Do you think just one lighting of a candle?
Oof, trying to move. That's
I'm
a
like, you're
big
gonna light it
one.
one night and you're good. I mean,
I
this is
think
the
yeah.
crafts.
Yeah. Well, and it makes sense too now. Like I use mostly like those big not pillar candles, but like the 7-day candles for
Yes.
almost anything that I work now. And just because it takes a long time
Right.
and
Right.
it's a good chunk of energy,
Yeah. Do you know I
And
get a lot of those from the dollar store, by the way?
oh, dude, let me tell you about being a dollar store witch. It is the jam.
Yes. It's the best.
And you can make cute things with the craft stuff and put it on that dollar candle and
Yes.
add some zhuzh to it if you want. That's what I like to do.
No, I like
Or
that.
you can just burn it. But
Burn.
like, yeah, you don't have to spend a lot of money on things
Mm-mm.
to do what you need to do. And I think there's a lot of, as somebody who likes to buy things for
Oh,
serotonin, and I'm trying to stop doing that, but
same.
like you can spend as much money as you want on whatever,
Oh, yeah.
but unless you put like the intention and stuff in it, it doesn't matter,
Mm-mm.
you know?
No, our witch ancestors didn't have, the $300 thame.
Right.
You know what I mean? They used a knife from the kitchen. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So magic,
Yeah.
magic. You don't need all the accoutrements, as they say.
Right. And yeah, sometimes it's fun and you make yourself a wonky cape trying to be cool.
Did you know I was listening to that episode the other day about the cape? I was like, oh, Jules.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
Did you wear it to the ritual? Like, was it you wore it
I
in?
did. I wore it
And
anyway.
what did everybody say?
Nothing. They were nice. Like I said, it was Steven and two other chicks I didn't
Oh
really
yeah,
know.
that's fine. Yeah.
It was fine. But it was high low if right is high and left is low.
You were ahead of your time, Jules.
I
You're
just,
ahead of your time.
she's a triple Aries down here.
It's fine.
Just let her go.
It's fine.
She's a
Oh
lot.
my God.
She
You know,
tried.
I think it's important. It's funny. This just came to my mind, but like, you were talking about being in a circle with Steven, and I've been in a circle with Steven too. Here we go again.
Hmm.
Um, but it's really important who you connect your magic to. And if
Yeah.
you don't have to be a witch, like from that perspective, like just even friendships and stuff. Who do you
Yeah.
connecting magic to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause-
dude, that's a really good point.
yeah. That because I remember one time someone said to me, I forget what happened, but he had his own circle, this person, and he was like, I can't stand in circle with her. I can't. This other person was trying to come back. And she's like,
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I said, then don't. I mean, that's a lot.
Right.
That's a lot to put your vulnerability in, even whatever you're doing, and closeness. So I said, well, then don't tell her you're not gonna.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's important, like who we're connecting our energy to.
It really is. And maybe that's why I haven't really found a circle that I'm into that much. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's hard for me. And like, I think we talked about this. Did we talk about this on here?
Mm.
Did we talk about this offline? Either way, I feel like it's hard to find, like, especially like in like Reiki circles and things like that, really finding the right group, I think is important, because if you're not vibing with people, it's not good for you,
No,
and you
no,
need to, but the people are out there, like you'll find your right people. It sometimes just takes a little time.
it does. It does.
So
And if you're putting it out there that you'll meet the right people, you'd be surprised. Like, it's
they'll
funny
show
how
up.
they'll show up. And it's funny how I've met people who are into some of the different things I'm into, just
Yeah.
like from having a conversation. Then I'll say something. They're like, oh, I'm into that too, or vice
Yeah.
versa. And it's like,
There you go.
I found a person. This is great. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I think we just got to be open to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
got to be open to that. Was it on the show? I think I said something about this. Like, there's times that if you're looking for magic, you'll see it everywhere. If you don't believe
Oh
in
yeah.
magic, you won't see it anywhere. You know. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a lot of the mind stuff. I'm really into the mind stuff.
I'm
I,
here for it.
yeah, because I don't know, it's one of the ways I cope, I guess, is to listen to people say, "You can do it."
Dude, that's that's why we're here.
I'm really into that idea.
I
You
know,
know.
it's really good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But I think a lot. I think a lot. So
Yeah.
the other thing I'm trying to do is get control on the emotions. You hear all about that emotional intelligence. When you're able to have
Mm-hmm.
the emotional intelligence to talk to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm like, I need that for myself because my temper, oof,
Oof.
oof, yeah. And I think,
But I think you might be selling yourself short a little bit, because emotional intelligence is not just anger management, it's being able to identify what's going on with yourself. And you
mm,
seem to be pretty able to, like,
mm,
I feel this way or this way or this one. Here's why. Like, I think you
yeah,
might, don't sell yourself too short on your emotional intelligence quotient.
thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah. I just yeah, I have to look at that. But I'm always looking at stuff. I'm always like, where in my life should I improve, or where do I want to improve? And I think some people think I pick up myself, they're like,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I just feel like I wanna be even better,
I love it.
but I'll take my time getting there. Give me a few
So
minutes. This isn't gonna happen overnight, kids.
right, right.
It's hard, and
It
I think
is hard. It's a lot of work, and some people are more well suited to it than others. That
mm,
doesn't mean they can't, right?
no.
It just means that like sometimes things take more practice for certain people than others.
Yep. I agree totally with that. I also think sometimes we try to force people to change.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Don't do it.
Don't.
It causes problems, y'all.
It does. I mean,
Mm-mm.
I think people have to wanna change, and still at the end of the day, they're the ones making the change. Even if we, like, inspire them to make
Yeah.
the change, they're still taking that inspiration and making the change. So, a
Yeah.
lot a lot of people clients will say to me, like, "Do you think that person will change?" And I'm like, "Well, they can change, but that takes work."
Right.
Like, like, they may have to go to therapy, they may have to go to a 12-step program, they may have to, go back to school, they may have to there's a lot
Right.
of things, and, if someone doesn't wanna do it, no matter how much, um, you bribe them, yell at them, whatever,
Right.
it won't be lasting change, let me put it that way.
No.
So that's the thing, I think it's hard enough to change ourselves for God's sakes, then we're trying to change somebody else.
Yeah, and I think too, you gotta let people have their own experiences. And
Mm,
like that's my thing.
that's
Like people have told me things, we've probably talked about this, like you should do this instead or this and this. Like you're making a mistake doing this. And part of me is like can hear it. And part of me is also like, I don't know,
yeah,
maybe it will work. Oh, it
yeah.
didn't.
Oh.
but
Mhm.
but like then learning from that experience, right?
Well, it's experience, I think life is experience, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know, I just want the world to be better. It makes me sad.
Girl.
Emily's 18, she's almost
Yeah.
18, I want the world to be so much better for her, but
Oh yeah, dude, totally.
yeah, and I'm sure everybody feels like that with kids, right?
Or not, right? Like it's just the
That's true.
world kind of sucks.
It's got its issues, there's a lot
There's a
happening.
lot of issues happening though. Can
Issues,
I say
yeah.
that I was pleased to see how quickly that Murdoch
Mhm.
verdict came down. I was like, if people are back and forth on this,
Mm.
it's just going to reinforce the feelings I have about like that kind of person just getting away with things.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well,
it was a
it's
horrible thing that happened that he did.
no,
But I was
terrible.
also like, thank you all for understanding that, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Well, that means they did a good job putting on that case, you know?
Hmm.
Um, but it's scary. That's scary that this is what I mean, this is gonna sound terrible, but, like, I was someone I forget who it was, and it sounds terrible that I forget who it was, who passed away, like, instead of her husband divorcing her, he killed her, and I was
Hmm.
getting divorced for the first time around that time. I think it was Lacey Peterson and Scott Peterson.
Yeah, I think
That
that's
was
right.
96, and,
Hmm.
I said oh, no, it was around yeah, somewhere in there, in 2002, wherever, it was somewhere in there, and I remember saying to my ex-husband, like, "Thanks for not killing me," and he's like, "What?" I was like, "Well, you know, thanks for
It
just
happens.
getting divorced. Like, thanks for just getting us us getting divorced." And he was like, "You're out of your mind," which, but,
Mary.
we know that, you're out of my well, yeah, but, yeah, no, it's oof, some of the things out there, I'm just even from a relationship standpoint or
Yeah,
it's scary.
it
So
is scary.
and I believe in people and I have hope in people, but, oh, yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah. So,
Yep.
we gotta be careful and take care of those we love. That was the other thing. I was funny, I was talking with my mom the other day about, like, the girl code,
Yeah,
you know? You don't date someone your friend dated.
right.
I don't
No.
it's my girl code, I don't do that. The other thing is, you come into the club or the place together, you leave together.
Oh, yeah, you don't leave anybody behind.
Mm-mm. You don't let anybody go with anybody,
Right.
leave anybody even at this age, I
Yeah.
don't leave my friends, but I'm like, "We're going out together, we're leaving together. You don't know
Yeah,
him."
it's a bad idea.
Yeah, you don't know him, you don't know who he is, get his phone number, see him tomorrow, let's go,
Yep.
you know?
I was left behind once my freshman year in
"Oh,
college. It was not okay.
why? What did they do?" They just were like, "I'm
We
not
won't go into it. They were no, they weren't mean. It was me being dumb. I was just like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just gonna wait till blah blah gets here. And like,
blah, blah, never showed up."
Well, I don't remember if they did or not, but I just remember that I was like, wait a minute, I've made a mistake.
Uh,
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm out. I don't have a car.
mhm.
We didn't really have cell phones then.
Right, right.
So I was just like, I've I've made a huge mistake.
Oh, oh my,
So I can't remember how. I think someone showed up. I got out of it somehow, but I
yeah,
remember being really scared. And
yeah.
I know that's like Julie, you're just not remembering. Like I don't remember exactly how I got
Oh,
out of it, and I was fine. Luckily, like
yeah,
thank
you're
goodness.
still
But I
here. Yeah.
right, but I remember that moment of being like, I'm not doing anything like this ever again.
Mm. No, I would never let my friend that was I don't know if I told the story in this pod. Did I tell the story about my friend throwing herself on the car?
No.
Oh, okay. So that's the rule. So I was driving. I
Yeah.
had my license. My parents let me use their car. So I was driving. It was myself, my friend Melissa, my friend Carla, and my friend Tracy. The four of us went out. It was an under 21 night at Faces nightclub. Thank you very much in Cambridge, Mass. For those
Mm-mm.
that. We were looking fly. I had my
Yes.
overall purple overalls on and a white shirt. Yeah. Oh no, I looked fly.
Hell yeah.
That's right. Curly, perm.
Yes.
Right. I was permed. So anyway, we get there. Tracy meets somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Richie. She's talking to him over on the side of the bar. It's fine. The rest of us were dancing.
Yeah.
Whatever. So she comes up to me and she says, I'm gonna have him drive me home. And I said, no, you're not. And she said, no, it'll be fine. And I said, no, you're not. I said, you don't know him. Remember, girl code,
Right.
right? She's like, all right. She goes, let me just go say goodbye to him because we were getting ready to leave anyway. So I go out to the car. I'm in the parking space.
Right.
Car started. Melissa's in the front seat. Carla's in the back seat. Tracy drives up with the guy. The guy's driving her, and she's waving at us like, "I'm gonna go."
She's like, I'm smarter than you guys. I'm gonna do what I
Oh,
want to do.
yeah, you thought so, but Melissa did not think twice. She threw open the door. She ran out and she jumped on the hood of the car.
I love that she did that.
Yeah, and she's like, "Get out of the car, Tracy! Get out! Get out! I'm gonna come to you, get out!" So Tracy's like, "Oh my God," right? She gets out of the
Mhm.
car. She's bullshit. And Melissa gets back in the car and, we lock up and we're like, see you later, Richie. And
Right.
uh,
She's like, I'm mortified. I can't
yeah,
believe he
oh,
did this to me.
she ripped into us. And I looked at
Yeah.
Melissa, I go, "You didn't think about that, did you?" She goes, "Nope. I just got out."
Mm-mm.
So
Mhm.
she ended up going out with him and he was an ass. Like he was a real jerk. But I was like, can you imagine if you went home with him that night? Like, or you know what I mean?
Right.
You know him. You don't know him.
Right.
So yeah, no. That Melissa, she jumped. I mean, I was like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? He had me blocked in at that point. You know what I mean? He was right in front of me. So
Right.
Melissa got out. I was like, girl, Tracy was very
What a
lucky.
rock star.
She was, yeah, she was totally a rock. So we're like 18, 19 years old, we're kids.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, see, next time I would have just stood there and waited until she came to the door, and then I would have been like, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, even now I'll say, do you want to ride to your car? Do you need anything? Like text
Mm-hmm.
me when you get home. Uh,
Right.
even though we're all older ladies, I still worry about my friends. And um,
Oh,
sometimes we're driving
definitely.
home singly, like late, we're all in our own cars driving home. Like let's make sure everybody gets home okay,
Oh yeah, we do the same thing. Like, let's text each other. Let's, make sure you're there okay.
I'm
I
telling you,
did.
it's just the things you got to be aware of. Just keep your eyes open. It's not to scare people. I don't mean to say, and not to say the whole world is bad, but I always think it's better if
You got to be
just
careful.
got to be careful. Not everybody's nice. And it's really, kind of sad to say this, but I remember when we went to Lourdes on that tour, and our
Yeah.
tour guide was like, you need to watch for pickpockets. Like he
Mm-hmm.
said even at Lourdes, they'll come up, they're like experts. They know how to reach into your bag and take out just what they need and like leave the rest of it there. And just be
Yeah.
careful. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a holy space.
Like, come on.
But, come on. Like people should feel like they can come here and be vulnerable and not have
But they're
their
also like, we know your guard's down.
right. That's it. That's it. And it's terrible. It's terrible. So
Yeah.
I'm like, and then of course, like I said to you before, I just wish someone would try because then the rage.
I wish a bitch would.
Yeah, mhm. Probably not a good thing to say, but
Like, it's an outlet for Mary. I will let them know.
yeah. Seriously.
I watch Hitman movies
Oh.
because I'm not good at letting it out.
Yeah.
Did I tell you this that I was like, maybe we've already recorded this and I've got it, but like that I realized like I'm watching John Wick and I'm like, this is very therapeutic to me. And I was like, is this the part of me that's really angry, but like I don't let that out,
Right. Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Is this the part of me that like broad sort of truth part
Yeah.
of me? Is this the
Mhm.
part of me that our friend that didn't know me at the Reiki retreat thing was just kind of like, I'm not touching this chick. She's really angry. And I was like, me? And
What?
I was like very surprised. I
Mm.
was like, are you kidding? Like, I'm not angry. Oh, so compartmentalized.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
And
I'm fine.
stuffing it
Yes,
down, you know?
true. Hence ice cream.
Right.
Ice cream? Ice cream.
Lots
Yeah.
of John Wick.
Lots of John Wick. Well, it's funny, they did a interview with him recently, Keanu Reeves,
I
about I
love
think it was it Vanity Fair or one of those
him.
magazines that was like, who would you pick? Like John Wick or, Neo, or like it was great. He's just such a personable guy. He's
I
just
love him so
yeah,
much.
yeah, it was a good interview, And I like that he's willing to talk and seems to be like a
Like a genuinely nice, good
nice guy.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice to see.
Yeah. Oh, The Matrix.
Oh, the Matrix, yeah. Didn't they
I
have a new one come out? Didn't there? Wasn't
Oh
there?
my God, it was so good.
Uh,
The Resurrections one.
Yeah, yeah.
So good. Highly recommend.
All right.
Highly recommend.
Ooh,
I know I like the second and the third one too, so people will be like, don't listen to anything she says. But
what?
like the third one was really good.
Mhm. I thought
And
that.
it's got a lot of like soul connection, karmic kind of like group kind of themes in it too. Because they did Sense8 as well, and Sense8 is very much about like a group of karmic soul stuff coming together. So
Mhm.
so I liked all that in there. I also just enjoy watching them beat ass
Yeah,
and
that's
and have loved Keanu Reeves since the 90s
fine. He's very
when
cute.
I was like, you're my favorite ever.
He is. He's aging very well. Whatever
And
he's doing.
he's such a dork, but I'm like, oh, I love you so much. I love you, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, you're cute. No, I was gonna say though, you know what movie I really liked, and I do watch every once in a while, like just to get. Do you know that movie Wanted with Angelina Jolie and
Yes.
yeah, yeah. That's a lot about magic, I think.
Oh yeah, that one's good. I haven't watched that in a long
Yeah.
time. I should watch that again. That's the
Yeah.
one where they're like curving bullets and
Yep.
stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was
And
good.
my favorite scene, which is probably says something about me, is um when Wesley realizes he has $3 million in the bank, and
Mm-hmm.
his whole boss walks up. Oh no, his friend walks up behind him. He tries to scare him, and Wesley's not falling for it anymore. And then the boss comes over and she starts yelling at him. He yells at her, "Shut the fuck up!" Right? And
So
he just tells,
satisfying.
oh yeah. So he tells the office everything. He's like, Janice, I know you keep a box of donuts in your drawer. We all know about it. It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he's leaving, and his friend's like, yay, bro. And he had his keyboard with him, and he whacks him in the face with the keyboard, and he's like, fuck you, fly off the keyboard. And he's like,
Yes.
he says, who's the man? I'm the man.
Yeah, dude.
Angelina Jolie's there, like, come on.
Let's
So
go.
yeah. So that was yeah, I do. I mean, I think that movie's a lot about magic and how you move your mind to believe what you believe.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch it thinking about that instead of just like, I'm here for action.
No, I mean, it's great. I mean, the some of those fighting scenes are, whew, they're
Oh
amazing.
yeah. But I don't think I've seen that since I watched it like the first time. So now I'm wanting to watch it again.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, the other scene that I really like in that movie is when he's I think he's with the guy called the repairman who just beats him up every day. And then Angelina Jolie, comes in and beats him up, and she says, "Why are you here?" And he finally yells out, I don't know who I am."
Yeah.
And she's like, There we go."
Yeah.
I think that, and I went, "Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to get the shit beat out."
Living that, right?
Right? But it really,
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's like life is like smacking the crap out of you to finally say, I don't know who I am.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find out who I am. And so that always stuck with me too, that scene. I was like, yeah.
I love that.
I love that. So, take it from a witchy point of view or a magic point of view or like a, mind over matter point of view. You're going to see it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Angelina looks great in
Interesting.
it. She looks amazing in it.
She's always awesome. I
Yeah.
know people give her a hard time, but I'm like, Angelina
Oh,
Jolie don't care. But
no,
also like I like her very much.
I do
So
too. I do too. I think she's a great actress. And whatever happened
mhm.
between her and Brad Pitt, I don't know.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out. They'll
Yeah,
sell the
dude.
winery or whatever it is, I don't know.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, you know. whatever they have to sell and they're not getting along about. I don't know. God.
I know.
That was another good movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. A lot of action scenes in there.
I never watched that one. I never did.
Oh my
I
God.
know people are, you haven't seen that movie? I'm like, I haven't seen that movie.
Oh yeah, that's a good. You
Maybe
want
I should.
some good fighting scenes? That's good. Plus, that's where they fell in love.
I know.
They fell in love, and he was
The
still
drama.
to
Oh, Aniston.
yeah.
But you'd mentioned that about in their chart that like it looks like the dating of the Aniston, but his Juno is actually closer to like
To Angelina. Yeah. Yeah.
Astrology doing it again, folks.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. No, because like Jennifer Aniston's the good girl, you know what I mean? Angelina Jolie, who's smoking hot. And not that Jennifer Aniston isn't, but it's just a different energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was looking for the smoking hot, sexy, mysterious girl. And unfortunately, whatever happened there, he's a Sag, so he went off the kilter for a while, I think too.
Yeah.
We're speculating. It's what the rags are saying, but yeah, but he's a Sag. He sometimes takes it too far, I think. I don't know anything.
Not at all.
No. You know how we were saying everybody like send in your information so that we can look at your chart for your red flags? It's like I just the whole thing for me. That's all my red flags. The whole thing.
Mary. You're like, I'm a Sagittarius and have 5 placements in Scorpio.
Right. Yep.
Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. So good luck, y'all. Good luck with me. And can I also tell you, like, so people will say to me, have you gone on dating sites yet? And I go, okay, let's talk about what my profile is going to look like. Right.
I love it.
So, hi, what do you do for work? I'm a psychic medium, hypnotist, reverend, and artist. Okay. So you can imagine, right. So you can imagine some of the comments. What am I thinking right now?
Barf.
Fuck. Yeah. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Fuck. So you have that. Then I'm in grad school for spirituality. My role going forward is hopefully to be a lay chaplain or to do religious work.
Right.
We've got that. Oh, by the way, my mother and I live together because I need to take care of her. I'm her caretaker.
Right.
We've got that.
Right.
So who's taking that on? You know what I mean? Who's taking all that? Like, I was like, can you guys, it's not gonna work. Like, no.
But if you wanted that, which you don't necessarily do right now, you're like, that feels like an extra work, and I don't know that I want any of that.
No.
Right. But if you did, you could, the right person might show up.
Yeah.
Just probably not through a damn dating site.
No, and that's what I think. I think too. I'm like, look, I just
what
can't.
A nightmare.
I admire all those. Like, a couple of my friends are on dating sites out there, and I'm like, you guys are brave. And I don't mean that like I just, there's so much you have to wade through on dating sites. And
this is one of those things. Dating sites are one of those things that make me feel old. Like this is not anything like what was around when I was dating. And I'm just like,
no,
I don't know. It makes me feel old. Back in my day, you met people in person, blah, blah, blah.
Well, yeah, but so I met my second husband through a dating site, and I'm trying to think, it was 2003 I met him. So I was 29, I think, using it, but dating sites were just coming out then. They were just like kind of getting fired up. But now the things I hear about now, I'm just like, oh God, girls.
It just seems like a nightmare.
I think you have to have a thick skin for it. And not that I don't, because I've done it. Like I've done it, but also I'm like, this is a lot that I would have to sift through with somebody. I mean, I'm not saying, listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm a catch. Like, I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that comes with the catch. There's a lot.
Well, right.
So I think, I don't think there's, how can I say, I'm going to sound so mean saying this, but
yeah,
I think there's other ways to meet people than a dating site. And I think my situation makes it harder to meet people on dating sites. So yeah. That's where I am with the whole thing. But I admire people who do it. I do. I admire people.
Oh yeah. And I guess, it's one of those things I can say, like, never say never.
No.
And also, like, people are different, right? What do you think about dating sites, Ricky? I know, bro. Yeah.
Ricky's like, I can't keep them away from me.
Ricky's like, everybody should date me.
And I would, Ricky, if you were closer.
Will you bring me food? Then
Yeah,
we're good.
of course.
Rick,
Yeah.
Ricky be a fancy bitch date. Ricky
Oh,
only
yeah.
eats like the fanciest ass wet food, and it's a lot. But anyway,
Well, he's a Devo, you know, he's as
he
he,
is.
he
Are
de-
you?
yeah, he's sweet.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, I
He's a
know it.
slew.
Yeah, he's a slim. Well, and he's like, I know it because I am. I'm sexy. I think we all find our people eventually.
Yeah,
You know,
we
we all find
do.
our people. But I was like,
We
yeah, I
do.
can imagine writing that on a dating profile.
I know, right?
No. No.
No.
Oh my God. Ricky's like, he's what was that thing they were doing? Oh, they were planking. Was it a plank? It was called
Yeah,
a
when people are planking.
he was planking.
He's like, it's 2004 hipsters all over again. I'm planking. It's 2004 too early, maybe.
He was, but it looked great. Like he looked like that's what he was doing.
He likes to be picked up like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Your belly scratch and then move on.
Oh, belly scratch. Well, I get that. I like my foot rubs, you know.
Hey.
Take one of those.
That sounds good.
I'll go ahead and go to get a pedicure. Thank you. Do the foot rub. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, so that's anyway, that's where I am with because people are like, why don't you go on a dating site? And I'm like, can
Maybe I
you
don't
imagine?
wanna.
Well, I don't, but can you imagine
Can you imagine?
writing that up?
It was part of me's like, now you need to write it up. And then we can just post what people say to you.
Oh God.
I wouldn't subject you for that.
Oh, I can't. I mean, I would make someone cry. It'd just be a really bad scene. Stop making people cry. I would. I know it. I know
And it's
it.
not like when you're dealing with scammers where like they've come to you. This would be you've put that out there and then
Yeah.
they're showing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not as energetically clean.
No. No. Thanks though. Yeah, no, I would make somebody cry, you know. And I don't, and here's the other thing, I don't pick up the signals half the time anyway.
Yeah.
So like I was in the airport and like a guy bumped into me, like tall guy. And usually they don't see, they're looking over my head because I'm so short.
We're teeny. Yeah.
We're teeny, right? So bumped into me and he goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, that's okay. And he's like, hey. And I'm like, oh, hey. And I kept walking. I was just like, hey, all right, I'm gonna go to my gate. And then I texted it to a friend of mine and he was like, that guy probably wanted to talk to you. And I was like, yeah, I didn't, okay, I just kept talking. You know. So I don't pick up on the cute at all.
Yeah.
Don't. So it's bad. It's bad.
It's not bad. It's just who you are.
It's just who I am. I'm like,
They just
whatever.
have to work a little harder.
Yeah, they do. That's it. They do.
They just have to work a little harder.
It's crazy. Oh God, it's crazy. I don't know how. I just admire everyone out there who's trying. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody who's trying, like when they're married, that's great too. That's important.
Yeah.
Some days, my mother had this thing that she used to say about with my dad. She'd say, some days I would wake up, I would look at your father. He hadn't even opened his eyes yet. And I thought to myself, I don't know how I could live without him.
Yeah.
She goes, some mornings I'd roll over and look at him. His eyes weren't even open. He wasn't even awake. And I hated his guts. She goes, you just have to live each day, no matter what you feel. Hey, yeah. I was like, that's nice. Oh, I looked at him. I just couldn't stand him. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. I'm glad.
That's the reality of marriage. And
well, yeah.
From mom and dad. I thought they had a fairy tale romance. I don't understand.
No sugarcoating here now. Yeah. Right. Right.
Who does? I laugh at people who say they do. I'm like, And if you do that's great if that's how you perceive it. But a lot of times I find that and as someone who was in total married for 21 years, yeah, that wasn't all a bed of roses. We had to really try sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if you're doing that, you're doing it. Good for you.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me about this ring you're wearing.
Oh, my rose quartz ring.
That is so pretty.
Yeah, thank you. Barbara Pellegrino is the person who made this online, bcpjewelry.com. And it's a big chunky rose quartz and I felt like I needed it today.
I've been looking at it.
And
it's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Every time it goes by, I'm like, I want to talk about this ring. Wait till there's a lull. And then go by and be like, I want to talk about it. Wait.
Yeah, it's if I go out or something, I just want to have this nice, like, yummy feeling of like happiness and stuff. I'll wear it.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Love my rose quartz ring. Yeah. She has a lot of good stuff. She has a lot those big chunky pieces. I think you might have seen me wear.
Yeah.
Some of those are Myron Moon jewelry. You can find her on Instagram. And then the other one is Barbara Pellegrino, bcpjewelry.com. So, but yeah, I love, I'm like, I don't need any more jewelry. I don't need any. Oh, wait, what's on Etsy?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
No, I
man.
know. Maybe that's what I want for my birthday.
Oh, are you going to do some Etsy jewelry?
Some witchy jewelry.
You should.
I know. Where will I wear it? Here. Okay.
You're on lives and podcasts, so
It's true. And work meetings now, internal work meetings.
Right. Yeah. Oh, girl.
Dude, it was funny. The first day they were like, so starting tomorrow, everybody's, and I was like, okay. And I like put on makeup, had a decent outfit, like all kinds of stuff. And our team lead was like, maybe we're not going to do this today. And I was like, okay, that's fine. The next day I was like, okay, yesterday we didn't. So it's probably safe to wash my hair and then jump on the meeting. And then they're like, camera's on. And I'm like, I am like soaking wet, like no makeup. Because with curly hair, like I don't really diffuse. One, I didn't have a lot of time. And two, like you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
But you keep it pretty wet when I put my product in. So I was like, oh, hey, everybody. I look like I got soaked in a rainstorm. What the woo? We're cameras on, huh? But everybody was like, yesterday we didn't. We thought you weren't going to today. Like everybody's like, I didn't put on any makeup. Like everybody's in sweatshirts. Even the dudes are like, hey. So we all saw each other at our most natural work at home state yesterday.
Oh my God.
Was that yesterday? Yeah. Oh my God. What is time? But I felt fairly mortified. But now it can only go up from here.
That's right. Yeah, I gotta tell you, makeup does make a huge difference.
It does. And I did tell myself though, I was like, you know what, this might be good. It'll help me get started earlier in my self-care for the day, right? Whenever I'm ready in the morning, I feel like I get more done. So if now I'm journaling and then I'm not just in like my PJs later, and you know what I mean? Yep. And I get the kids to do it before they go to school. I should do it for myself, right? And I mean, they go to school at here, but Vaughn would come in like lately. I've been kind of slacking. He'd be like, Mom, you're still in your PJs.
Why are you doing that?
Why aren't you in your day clothes? Like,
because I want to be in my PJs. I said that. She's like, I want to get dressed, because sometimes she likes to hang out in her PJs and sometimes she gets dressed. And today, no, should I get dressed today? I'm like, if you want to make it a PJ day, Mom, make it a PJ day. It's fine.
Right. Right.
What are you doing? You're gonna go to church in the living room twice, right? You're gonna say your rosary. You're probably gonna talk to Anthony on FaceTime. Maybe do a little cleaning up. Do you have to? Can't you stay in your PJs today? She's like, yeah, I think I can. So, but yeah, she has this thing. I should get dressed every day. I'm like, nah. Why?
You don't have to. You
don't have to. Like, why? Like this.
And I used to be that way too. And then the pandemic happened, and I was like, we will be in PJs every day around here if I don't pull this ship together. It was anything I could have control over, right? So it's like you have your PJs and you have your day clothes. Get up, put on your day clothes.
Yep, it does make a difference.
Yeah. So, but we let him have PJ days too sometimes. You okay?
Ricky, okay?
He's like, I'm always in a tuxedo, bitches.
That's right. Ricky is. He's like, I get dressed up every day. Whatever.
Woke up like this.
Feeling cute.
In the words of Beyonce. No.
Yeah. Woke up like this. Yeah. Oh, he's a sweet boy. Look at Ricky just being like,
I know. This is just cutting edge podcasting, but it's okay.
Listen, it's life.
I know. It is.
So I started started watching that behavioral team.
Oh, did you watch it? What did you think?
They're amazing. Oh my God. And then they had one on OJ Simpson.
Oh yeah.
And an interview he had done and his body. I'm like, oh my God. Like it almost makes me want to analyze like people outside of that, what they're talking about, like friends and family and stuff like that. When people, because I started looking at people too. Like I'm intuitive, so I can pick up when people are lying.
Yeah, totally.
I'm also watching their body and they're like, I'll say something and they'll blink or they'll show me something. And I'm like, oh, that had a reaction, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. I watch people and then, just sometimes I hear the spirits go, "They're full of bullshit." Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's a lie. Well, how did you know?
I'm a psychic bitch.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's always fun when someone does it. "How did you know?" And I just look at them. I'll just be like, "Yeah, so there's that." But anyway, Jules, you know what? We've been
Anyway,
chatting for a while.
and I could continue to, but let's tell people how to find us.
Yeah. So, if you wanna find us on the web, hypeclub.live, Live.
Yes.
If you wanna email us, it's highpriestesshypeclub@gmail.com. And then Julie, what we have a link tree.
We do have a link tree that says linktree/HPHC High Priestess Hype Club. And you can come check out all our stuff that's linked on there, including new episodes and Mary's site and my Etsy shop and all kinds of stuff. I think that what I want to do soon too is, as I put this out there, but like, I think that it might be fun. Tell us if it is or not. Write in and tell us what you think. I'm thinking of doing where all our references, we find a way to post them like in a show notes kind of situation.
Yeah.
So you could go through the show notes and see the random memes I'm trying to describe, or
Yeah, or
find
who
that
we're talking
fellow
about.
creator who we love, and then tell us what you think about them.
Yeah, I love that idea. I love that idea.
Awesome.
Yes. So listen, everybody, have a good day or night or whatever you're doing after you listen to us. And just remember, you are magic.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at High Priestess Hype Club, and subscribe to us on whatever platform you're currently listening to us on now, because we're back every Thursday to hype you up. Email us at highpriestesshypeclub@gmail.com and tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
It's also pitch black in here now,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what has happened to my lighting? But anyway, I guess it's 6:30.
Yeah, it's dark out. Yeah, still.
But like, oh, now I'm in a cave.
This is great.
And the lighting is harsh. Hi. Good thing this is audio mostly.
Do you want to put on the light? Would you feel more comfortable?
It'll be like a quick cut. It'll be like, boom.
Yeah, and she's back. Oh, there you go. See,
and we'll do like this. I'll be like, and then we'll just do it like a transition, like TikTok, where I'm like,
yeah, there you go. Throw something in front of you.
I should have done that before I turned it on. Just been like, and then we just cut it, and people are like, she is a witch.